Yes, welcome. Be nice. There it goes. Hey. Get out of here. Stop, like, frickin' hijacking my stream, you. And get in chat and hijack it. Scream across the room, you ass lords. Exactly. Alright. So, my pen tablet is still not allowing me to do the pressure sensitivity thingy. So it is all one stagnant line. Uh, don't ask, yes. Might be better to message him. Mad pop. So yeah, the pressure sensitivity on my um, pen tablet is not working. Um, I eventually plan on saving up money to get like a device like a Syntec anyways. Um, which is, if you've never seen one, yes, is a very, very cool little PC tablet thingy with like a stylus, very similar to this. Um, Unfortunately, they're about $600. So, um, so I'm going to start saving my pennies and hopefully get one. Um, that'll allow me to continue to update the software because right now the tablet that I'm using was made for Windows Vista and it is now Windows 10. So it's old. So the pressure sensitivity is not what it used to be. Yay. So it makes doing my line arts very difficult. So instead we're going to try and do something a little bit differently. At least stuff that I can do within the realm of what I can do with no pressure sensitivity that I'm comfortable to do without pressure sensitivity. So instead, I'll probably draw big bold lines. Not really. Um, so, oh my god, yeah, that's what they were asking, ass. You people. I don't know what is wrong with you. So, like I said, instead, I'm gonna do, like, little question. Yeah, I see that. Like, what qualifies for what I'm going to be doing, or what qualifies for what Nind is asking? Asking you. Is you thicker than a bowl of oatmeal? Okay. I can. It doesn't take much to weigh more than Nind. Look at these terrible, terrible proportions. These are awful. What was I thinking? I am drawing boobs. Just kidding. Um, um, I was asked by Bailey's younger brother Jake, um, to do more step-by-step things on my little artistic process here. Um, so that's essentially what I'm going to be doing is a little step-by-step process for everything except for I'm going to try to do what I can when it comes to line art. Um, but like I said, with the pressure sensitivity on my little guy being a dick, I'm going to see what I can do. So it's going to be lots of changing pen sizes for my lines instead of just like picking a size, and then with the pressure sensitivity I could like have like little thick lines by drawing lightly or really thick lines by drawing pushing really hard on the pen tab. But that's not working, which sucks. um, Oops. So yeah, tell me about it. I mean, this one that I've been using was about 40 bucks, Andrew said. So it's not too bad, but the drawing thing that I want is something more along the lines of a Syntec, which I explained earlier in the stream is like a little, like almost like a laptop with a touch screen and a stylus. Um, and you actually like draw on the screen, like doot 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 sort of thing. Um, I don't know too much about the technology. I know another fellow artistic friend, Basilisk, uses one. Um, a girl that I met while I was at Colossal Con, she has one. Um, she says they're really, really nice. They're small and portable. You can take them anywhere. If you have like the oh, hi Devin, how are you? Okay. Uh, Hi. So I haven't started anything yet, and now I feel the pressure mounting. Okay, let's go. I'm good. Andrew, no. So, um, I'm okay. I wish that my pen tablet wasn't being a butt. So, like I was explaining to Yas, here's your art. Here you go. Perfect. I'm just gonna. I know, Devin, that something that I think you'd appreciate. Bailey actually interrupted one of my streams one time with bit donations to get me to draw something absolutely ridiculous, which was a princess shrimp. And then yes, here, art worthy of the mistress of maps. Oh crap! Now I'm really feeling the pressure. Uh, um, and yes, had me draw a tiny house cat sized griffin. Like I wish you were here when my pen tablet was working properly, Rue. I drew a pretty sick mermaid. It was it was awesome. Yes, please do. Please do. Yeah. So I was actually explaining um, to Yas that I'm going to start trying to save up money for a little drawing computer. They're like, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, Rue. They're called like Syntax. They're like little drawing PCs. Um, Actually, I think I'm going to pull up that mermaid for you, Rue, so that you can see. Yes, yes, that. One of those. How are they? So here's my mermaid. Um, yeah, so I want to try and save up money to get one of those instead of constantly, because right now I'm just like using like little plug and play tablets, which is fine. Um, but I would like something a little bit more that I can prop up and use. Okay. I know another artist that I follow has something similar. It's like an off-brand one. Um, and he really, really likes it. He's done some really amazing things. He's the one that's in charge of doing all of the NPC drawings for Tales from the Tavern. Um, so yeah, I'd like to save up some money and get one of my own. Um, Obviously, that's not going to happen anytime soon because of how expensive they are. But so that's a long time. It's ridiculously large. Yeah, I know there are like ones that are like smaller, and I think that's then a little bit more portable, and that's something that I'd really like to get, just so that I can take it with me if I'm like at a con. I can like, and I don't maybe feel like socializing. I can just hole up in my room and get some work done, or because I'd love to have my own artist alley table one of these days. Yeah, because you said you had a vision impairment. Okay, so I guess I should explain what I'm doing here now, huh? Um, so when it comes to when I'm drawing, everything, and Devin, you know this. Yes, you draw, you know this. But when I draw, whoop, 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 it's pretty much just like basic shapes, circles. It's a really terrible circle. Squares, rectangles, um, lots of lines. No, I don't even know if he's here yet. But yeah, triangles, cylinders, that sort of thing. So anything you really draw can be broken down into basic shapes. So that's pretty much where you start. And for those like Yas who have seen my streams in the past, I draw lots of humanoid figures. I have drawn animals in the past, like um, all of my stuff is in the wrong spot. Like there's a piece of work that I'm thinking of right now that I'm actually, for whatever reason, not able to find currently. Oh, there it is. Why is it on my desktop? But yeah, I was drawing these little babies last week. Um, Gotta figure out where that, what layer that black dot's on. Found it. Boop. So I drew these little babies last week with little basic shapes, and I'll finish them eventually. Outside of cons and work, I don't really leave my house either, Rue, either. So, yeah. So I drew these little baby dragons last week, or a couple weeks ago, because I didn't stream last week because I wasn't really feeling up to snuff after the long con weekend. But yeah, these were just broken down into basic shapes. I already erased my sketchy layer, my like shapes layer for them, or else I would be able to show you that. Um, but they're cute. I like them. I like them. So I do animals occasionally. You know, humanoid figures, that sort of thing. Um, when we have the whole gang together to do Scribble Nerds, I go and hunt down a prompt on a drawing blog that I follow and pull up prompts. Such as, for instance, we've done draw the moon if it were a person. That gave me some nightmare fuel. You can thank our friend Meg for that. So that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy when we all get together and draw together. You do it. No, no, I draw animals. I draw animals. Rue. No. Ah! Ah! So, I do draw animals. Um, that sort of thing. So, I also, when I go into draw, I also turn the opacity down for my sketch layers. Okay, yeah, thanks. I also turn down the hardness of my pencil so it's a little more of a thin line. But for this, I'll keep the opacity turned up so that you guys can see. Yeah, Caterpillar Boy. That was fun. We drew Mothman in his child stage. Caterpillar Boy. Um, Andrew, we actually got Andrew to participate in that one, and my husband doesn't draw. Um, but that was a lot of fun. So, whether it be, that's actually a pretty decent circle. Whether it be human or animal, um, start off with basic shapes. So you've got your circle, your triangle here. I have a feeling, yeah, I'm going to be fixing that. It's a little long. Um, there we go. So I always cackle every time I come up with something because Jake usually hates me. Another fun one that I found was pick an inanimate object in the room that you're in and draw a monster out of it. So that was a lot of fun. I actually had my hookah set up then, and so I turned it into a hookah monster. So that sucked out the souls of those who wanted to smoke it. So that was fun. Anyway, so now that I have my basic head shape here, I started sketching out the body while I was going through prompts. Just pretty much just like a line. So you have your spine here. So this is like your torso, your shoulders, line here, little balls on the end for the shoulder joints. Um, and from there, come down. You have your hip line, hip joints here for circles. And this just helps you keep your proportions when you draw humanoid figures. I can't really say that my proportions are like stellar all the time. No, my proportions are mediocre at best. It's always a work in progress. I said mediocre at best. Okay, so it's something that is still a work in progress. I'm being yelled at. Bailey's gonna throw something at me. Um, so then from there, um, like once I've got, this basic thing here of a shape, come down, just kind of sketch out like the skeleton of your figure. Oh my god, Andrew Wayne. And sometimes I don't even use like a little skeleton like this. If I'm just drawing for funsies or just kind of doodling. Like if I like earlier I did like a little warm up sketch where I just basically drew like the head shape and then the neck and some shoulders and boobs like that. I don't know if you could see that, but it's very poor. That's fine. I like it. Like a little ghost hair. Crazy hair. Me right now. I have some crazy hair. There you go. Hands. Yay! So sometimes I'll do a lot of that and just skip the skeletal structure altogether. But it really does help keep your proportions in line. Um, and then from there, obviously, once you've got your arms, you add your elbow joints, your hand circles, or I guess um, wrist, squares for hands. Um, that's another thing I struggle with is hands. Hands are evil, even though I know they're just like a bunch of little joints. Sometimes I can draw some really awesome hands. That's actually not horrible. But on my mermaid, I did some really pretty cool hands that I was excited about, or hand. So they're right there. I was pretty excited about those. And those were just like me being like, me, I don't want to draw hands. I'm just going to make them really knobbly. Blah. And then I was like, oh, that actually looks really nice. I actually really like that. I'm going to keep those. Okay, cool. So lots of, I guess you could say in the words of Bob Ross, little happy little accidents often happen when you draw. And then I'm actually going to, so now that I've got my skeleton here, bring the legs down a little more. It's kind of a very boring basic pose, but for this it'll work. I'll create a new layer, and I'll actually select a new color. So for this, we'll use green, because it's bright, it's obnoxious, and I can see it. Actually, we're going to tone that on that a little bit. And then, gotta make sure you name your layers too, so that you can go back and edit your layers as you need fit, or lock them so that you can't draw on them anymore. It's pretty nice. I should most likely do that so that I have very little of the hashtag wrong layer. Alright, have fun, Rue. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thanks for terrifying me. So from there, I just kind of draw around my skeleton here. Kind of trying to line up my lines with how my skeleton's gonna go. Oh, I missed a step. I missed a step. It's a step I don't really use, and I probably should, but um, it's not really a terrifying thing. I'm just easily intimidated. Um, you're just an amazing artist and an amazing person, so it's more like a nervous franticness. Like, oh my gosh, this really awesome person is like in my stream right now. Ah! Sort of thing. It's like more like an excitement. Um, so that was a very bad choice of words. So it's more like a, what do I do? Sort of thing. So, huge fan. Also, the thing that you sent, Jake, is very pretty. I didn't get a chance to tell you that in person. Now I can. Well, in person. So, um, but yeah, I will have lots of fun. Yay. So yeah, from there, there's a step that you're welcome. There's a step that I completely glossed over, and it's, you draw in your basic shapes. So, just kind of like this. And for hips, it's more like you're drawing like a really crudely pair of underwear. I guess you could say. And when Diet Jake gets here, I'll probably start over and show him how I got this far in like a quick layman's terms. But this is pretty much stuff that you can find in pretty much any artist book, whether it be like draw like Picasso or draw like this person, or how to draw comic book characters, how to draw fantasy characters, that sort of thing. So, not liking how this is turning out, but it's fine. I will deal with it. It's fine. It's fine. And here I've noticed that I have messed up a little bit, so I'll just kind of go back over. Then legs are large circles here. So now have like this robot looking thing. um, and like I said, I usually skip the step. I usually just like do the skeleton. Um, there is a program that I have on my computer when I'm drawing humanoid figures. Sorry, I'm going off camera for a second. Got a itchy. Um, and it's called Design Doll. And what it is if you know those like little drawing mannequins, that you can buy like the little wood figures. Um, they're like that, but it's a digital program, so you can move the arms, move the hands, zoom in on the hands and pose those. So it's a really huge help for me when it comes to drawing hands. It's also helped me better visualize what the proportions should look like. So that's usually what I would use for my references if I'm drawing without the stream, because I want to be able to keep an eye on the chat. Um, Hence another reason why I want one of those little desk computers, so then I can have my references and stuff pulled up on my computer. So that's fine though. So yeah, now we have our weird robot, I guess you can say. Um, but like I said, I have a hard time drawing around this, because in my head this is pretty much fleshed out. So I usually don't do that. Instead, and now this to say that this doesn't work for everybody, but I just kind of lightly sketch over instead, and then adjust from there. I just kind of sketch her in. draw in the face, see if I've got those proportions right. I kind of do. Add in hair. Just to kind of get an overall concept of what this character might look like. So that's part of my, um, at least my process of drawing. From here I would go on to add, I might go in and like change a lot of this, because this is really bothering me how she's standing. Um, it's very separated, I guess you could say. I'm not used to... Hmm? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Well, hello, Kyle. Hello, friend. Yeah, there's a person named Kyle in our chat right now. Hello. Welcome to my art corner. Today we're just kind of going over, I don't know how much you've seen already of my art corner for at least this episode. But today with how my pen tablet is acting, the Ross Kyle. Ross Kyle. The Kyle Ross. Got it. So, I don't know how much you saw, if you saw the beginning of the stream, but my pen tablet's acting up. The pressure sensitivity isn't working at the moment. So, I'm just kind of doing very basic sketchy things. Just kind of showing my process, how something like this turns into something like this, for instance. Zoom in on my mermaid. Show us your dog steps. My dog steps. Hello, keychains. Is that Billy? Hello. Welcome. Yes, thank you, Kyle. She was a drawing prompt that I picked up that I was going to use on the rest of the nerds. But they didn't, I mean, not everybody was feeling great that day. So I was like, I like this prompt too much. I'm going to take this one for myself because I want to draw a deep sea mermaid really bad, so... Yeah, like, the majority of the Nerdolopedia staff that participates in Scribble Nerds was not feeling well. So, I kept the prompt. And I might use it on them still. Because the thought of Jake drawing a deep sea mermaid makes me so happy. Because I want to think, or like even Meg, what kind of nightmare fuel. You can hear the noises Bailey's making behind me right now. What kind of nightmare fuel she can come up with. Oops. So yeah. With the pen tablet thing, it's because this one's old. This one was for Windows Vista. And now we're on to Windows 10. And I have another one that, in, hypothesis should work, but it's not. How do you fix it, Billy? Help me. Billy, help me. Trick. Good spelling. Trick. She has to snap her... You know what, Billy? You know what? know what? Here, this is just for you. Oops.
Oh wow.
Thanks for the sub, Billy. Draw a middle finger, get a sub. Maybe I should do this more often. My trick is to go buy a new one. Actually, I was just talking about that, how I want to save up money for something called, or something similar to a Syntec drawing pad. But they're like $600. So someday. Um, right now I'll work with what I've got. It bothers me, but it doesn't bother me enough for me to go out and spend millions of dollars on something right now. So, maybe I'll go put that on the Amazon wish list that Jake has started. Oh boy. Um, can you send me this commission you've drawn for me? What, the middle finger? I can draw you a better middle finger if you want me to. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it right over. Actually, I'm going to save this right now. I'll donate. This is beautiful. Donate $9 million. If I describe the reason of life. Doing this one with more stroke. Oh no, it's gonna get sent to you just like this. Just like a green line with your name on the middle finger. Like I'll keep it just like this. um, please don't stroke out. As for the reason of life, well, that's a fun question. 42. That's what Andrew says. That's not my answer, though. The reason of life is, I'm going to say it because we're an adult stream, is 69. That's way more fun to say. Live your life, dude. That's the reason of life. Boobs are the meaning of life. Cute baby dragons, too. The, that's the meaning of life. I thought D&D was the meaning of life. There, yes. Doesn't fit my standard. Telling my mom on you. Okay, tell Karen I'll see her at the PTA meeting. Oh fuck, my tablet's acting up. Hold on. Fuck. Okay. Oh, shit. Just like scribbled all over my baby dragons. Okay, I'm actually going to like save this middle finger though and send it to Billy. Actually going to do it. Delete. There we go. There we go. I'm sending this to you, Billy. Now, Billy, do you want me to send this to you on Discord? Because I can. I have you on Discord. Save. Okay, I saved it. You paid good money for that. Yeah, I can just send it to you on Discord. I'll just do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna, oops, start a new Photoshop file now. So you guys don't have to continuously look at Billy's middle finger. Yeah, I'll send it to you on Discord so that you can immortalize your middle finger. I mean, I don't know if it's like the lines are thick enough to make it a fucking Discord profile picture, Andrew, but he could try. Do me one better, whip it into general chat. I feel like Jake would have my tail, but okay, I'll do it. Jake's gonna kill me. I hope you know. Jake's gonna kill me. But I'll do it. Oh crap. What is your frickin'... Oh, K3? Oh, yep, there goes. There you go. Billy, it's in an, um, uh, there you go, Billy. I posted a Nerdalo, general chat just for you. Anybody else wants to influence my stream today? Use bits. Ha! Bailey wants me to draw dogs. Um, if you donate 100 bits with the thing, I will do a quick sketch. You only have to... We'll talk about that payment later, Bailey. um, so yeah. Oh, nope. Yes is having me... Alright. Okay, I will draw dogs. I will draw dogs. Oh no, hold on, I want to go look at Nerdalo General real quick, and then I'll draw dogs for yes. Oh no! Billy, you should probably resize that so you could see, like, the whole thing. Billy! Okay, so I'm gonna draw a cute dog for yes. I feel like I've drawn a dog before on stream. Draw the... honey, that's a different bits. That's a dick move. And bless you. I think I need a reference. I want a reference for this one. Okay. Alright, yes, this is just for you. There's your dog. Sorry, I was quiet through that. Oh, hello, Diet Jake. I'm glad you made it. There's your dog. I think Andrew would appreciate this drawing of a dog. Give him little eyebrows. So you got to see a little bit of my, drawing process there, Jake. See, I listen. Bailey told me you wanted me to do step-by-step things. So that was my step-by-step for a dog. Um, oops. Circle for head, this sort of thing. Lines to show where his eyes would go. And then from here, just kind of draw his little mouth. It's like a upside down heart. Little lip under it. His ears. His eyes. I used his where his muzzle was for his eyes. His nose goes here. Voila. Instant dog. And then for his fur, just floof. Just little spikies. Gave him pupils, obviously. Then just draw the owl. Um, Once again, I'm going to remind people that to influence the drawing stream, give 100 bits, and you can tell me what to draw. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to sketching around. I think I'm just gonna like sketch around here. This is pretty much just gonna be I guess Erica's doodle stream today instead of Erica's art corner. Because my pen tablet's acting up and I can't get it to do what I need it to. Pretty much drawing an owl though would be so little half circles here. Now it just depends on, from here what kind of face you want your owl to have. Draws little feeties. Yeah. Bailey's gonna draw an owl for you guys. Normally I would probably go into more detail on his little feet, but he's cute, so... So I think I'm going to shrink my owl down so that we can have side-by-side owls from Bailey and I. Oh, okay, good. That's why I'm shrinking mine down, though, so that you can get him in there, because mine was like this big. I thought about it, and then I figured that would take too long. Did you see the puppy I drew? I had to start my stream, and I got really full from cake. Alright, so Bailey's gonna draw us an owl now.
You guys want to see a really cool owl trick? So it works for many kinds of birds. So you start by drawing the letter O. Right? Ah, yes, there it is. And then you do little wing nuts, big eyes, and a beak.
Do you want to draw an owl, honey?
Now you have an owl. So you can do it with drawing the letter A. This and a footer. You can also do a letter B bird. The letter B bird, it's a bee.
Well, that's how I used to draw burbs.
And now it's on a nest. You can also do a penguin with the letter O. You do a belly, two little penguin eyes, a beak, and two sandy wings, webby feet, birds.
I'm gonna zoom in on these birds.
Did you know that my hand shakes when I use a pen tablet?
See, there's Bailey's birds.
This one likes a human being.
So soft. So, that was Bailey. Drawing birds. So, you've got my owl and Bailey's collection of burbs. So is there anybody else that wants to influence my stream today? I,
You can also do a whale with an upside down Q.
I pulled a blank.
You have your circle, your little cube, then you have your bird.
Oh, that's cute. Draw a tree. Okay.
I'll draw one. I'll go first.
Perfect. Alright. I'm gonna draw a tree. Okay. Drawing a tree. Okay. So. Oops. So first things first, I'm going to rotate this. And then I'm gonna zoom out. So I realize if I do it this way, it gets cut off. So. Doop. So first things first. I draw a cylinder. In the ground. Okay. So first I draw a cylinder. And then I draw weird tendril things. Yes. Thanks. Thanks, Bailey. It is indeed a nutrition cylinder that I actually need to shrink, or I'm not going to be able to get this whole damn tree in here. Okay. So I have all these grabby looking hand things. Oh, mother trucker. Whatever. There we go. I drew on the wrong layer. 1 second. Hashtag wrong layer happens again. There we go. Oops. Just redrawing these branches real quick. There we go. So now we have our branches. I'm going to shrink down our tree here so that I can get the leaves in. So now we have our leaves. did that wrong. There. There is your tree. I'm not very good at drawing trees. There's a better way to do it. And I did some of the steps that you're supposed to do, but, um, I missed some. So I have to go back and look at my books to see what I missed as far as drawing this tree. Um, I have a feeling I missed something in the first few steps. Um, but yeah, you're obviously, I guess you could say, quote unquote, normal people, but I'm not normal. Draw trees like, or a pine tree like. But with this way, you get like the little branches and all that fun stuff. Obviously, it's more steps, but, and then you can go in and do like bark shading and stuff like that, or a little notch in the tree, or more branches like off to the side with their own little shrubberies on them. There's about a million different ways that you can draw anything, um, and it all starts diegetic with basic shapes: circles, squares, rectangles, or I'm sorry, triangles, rectangles, even like in my dog picture there are basic shapes. Like with his muzzle, it's just an upside down heart. Like this, with a little extra guy there. Um, so anything can really be broken down, whether it be human, animals, plants, into basic shapes. So with plants, it'd be like, or I'm sorry, ovals, I forgot a shape. So with a plant, you have a pointed oval, a rectangle, and then you just go in and add your details. With a human, it's a circle skeletal figure that you go on to fill out around the skeletal figure and add your details until you've got something like this. Um, so it's really just breaking down everything into, like I said, basic shapes. Even with the mermaid, you can, if you can't really see them, I'll explain. I have no problem with that. But, you know, her head, circle, rectangle or cylinder. Her shoulders, a circle. Um, beginning, topping, here, I'll zoom in. Top of her arm here is, actually, I'll just create a layer to show. So, top of her arm, you've got a rectangle shape. Her head's a circle. So basically, if I break my mermaid here down into like a very basic drawing skeleton, which is what I explain, you've got a circle, got a line here, got a line here, you've got circles here for her shoulders, her spine comes down here, and where her hips would normally be here, and then instead of like continuing on with legs, it's just a long line back here that does this shape, and then for her fin was another like circle. Her arm here, then her hand. That was a really terrible color to do that in. I'm sorry, friends. Hold on. There we go. So the mermaid is pretty much, if I break her down into a basic skeleton, this is what she looks like. Their arm here. And then I pretty much just went through and filled out around the skeleton. Does that make sense at all there, Jake? Yeah. Um, and then last week, I did these little baby dragons. I guess. Pretty much with drawing, it's just, you're pretty much just filling out basic shapes. Circles, lines, and then here. I'll show you. Let me draw something real quick for you, okay? Yeah, yeah, and practice, as they say, makes perfect. So, let me see. So, got my basic, like, little oval circle here that I start with as a head. Guidelines for your facial structure. Got a cylinder or even like oddly shaped rectangle here for a neck. So here's where that skeleton would come in. Right here, this line. Indent the face a little. Nose. Smile. And then pretty much just fill everything out. And I've got books. When you get here on Friday, remind me. I've got a few drawing books that I can show you that better explain this process. But everything that like you draw is basically you can break down in basic shapes and just go from there to build like your skeleton of your drawing. And drawing humans is pretty much just fleshing out a stick figure. gladly show you when you get here on Friday. Um, I do have a couple of books that I can show you. Um, they're all how to draw manga books. Sorry, I'm trash. Um, but a lot of everything in cartooning can be translated if you were drawing something a little bit more realistic, like a portrait. Even those who do portraits still follow this basic circle and guidelines thing when they are filling out a face. Because it keeps your, like, where everything in your face, because especially with humans, everything is proportions, especially hands. If one thing on the figure is out of proportion, the rest of the drawing looks a little wonky. It does take a lot of practice. So, um, that's all you really have to do, though. Um, I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. Um, Let me erase this. But one thing I know I struggle with is hands. And I do practice. Oops. But hands especially are all proportion. And if one thing looks off on the hand, everything looks weird. Hello, Kyle. Um, so yeah, when you get here on Friday, Jake, I'll pass you over one of my books that explains, like, I actually should probably do a refresher with my books anyway, so I'll probably dig those out. Um, I also have, I can show you. Oh no, where's my program? Okay, so it's no longer on my computer. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. But it was a program called Design Doll. I don't know why I deleted it. Hey, Jake. Um, and it was essentially an artist drawing doll for humanoid figures. So, oh my god, this pen tablet's spazzing out. And with little artist drawing dolls, they're ball jointed dolls. So all of the joints are like the wrist and elbow, the head, so you can actually see the proportions in a very basic um no, just like a general, like, how I draw, how I go from something like a very basic skeleton like this to, something that I've done like this. So, just kind of going over that because Diet Jake asked me, or asked Bailey to suggest this to me oh my god, for me to do something like this. And Jake's already like, yeah, it's something I gotta practice. And it is, it is. It's whether you're, drawing something like this or a dog or something like that. Oh, boy. Oh, great. Um, well, that's fun that there's a delay. Um, guess I'm gonna stop moving then. There, pretty much just doing like a little drawing tutorial, and I'm just gonna have to probably like I've covered what I can. Um, in the amount of time I know I speak really fast, and I know for me that this makes a lot of sense. And for somebody who doesn't do a lot of drawing, i.e., both Jake's, Andrew, it might not make a lot of sense. Um, but I also think differently than a lot of people. Artists generally do. Creating people who create things generally look at things differently than somebody else. Um, so for me, drawing is just complicated shapes, like adding more lines to shapes that are already there. Um, like my mermaid here. This is how she started off. This weird green line of circles. That's how the Nightmare Mermaid started. Um, and I don't know where her original file is because I'm pretty sure I kept all those lines, but I could just quickly do it like this. But yeah, the Nightmare Mermaid started off just as you see right now. It's just this circle and lines. That's it. Yeah, Nanami. Yeah, I finally have a name for her. So Nanami started off just as basic circles and lines. And then I just fleshed everything out with more lines, picked a color palette, and there you go. Um, and picking color palette when you go in color is another thing I might go over. I don't know because I'm not very confident in my coloring abilities, so that those questions I would reserve for like a more seasoned artist like Basilisk or his buddies. So, um, so yeah. Any questions so far, Jake, or either Jake or anybody who is watching? Yeah. Yes. Coloring, coloring is hard. Um, coloring is very difficult, especially when you're playing with light sources, extreme light sources, soft light sources. Um,
Oh wow.
hey, thanks for the subscription, Diet Jake. Yeah, that was, if you remember, yes, that was a happy accident. I don't know if you were here for that, but Bass, stopped in when I was finishing her coloring and I was trying to figure out what to do with the texture of her tail, and I found a brush that almost looked like scales, so it was an accident. Because I was just like, haha, look at me playing with this brush. And everybody was like, leave it. I'm like, oh, okay, you're okay. So, yes, you were there. But yeah, you can find out a lot of really fun things when it comes to coloring. Um, there's a lot of really good tutorials. I know that there are other artists that are out there that are more than willing to share the information that they have. Um, Basilisk Online is another really good artist. I think he streams tonight. I think he might be doing his art stream. I don't know. I'll probably check in with that later. But definitely go check him out too because he's more than happy, Diet Jake, to share his own information on how he does um, sketches, and his skeletal process for figures is probably, I think, is a little different than mine because he incorporates clothing. Hey, oversaturation of colors is not always a bad thing, and you can see Nanami here is very saturated. Basilisk Online. I will send you a link after the stream. I don't know if he's doing art stream today or if he's doing more D&D stuff. But he's a really good guy. But yeah, like I said, his skeletal process is a little different than mine. He incorporates clothing into his skeletal design so he doesn't have to figure it out later and draw it around his limbs, which is probably something I'm going to start doing because it's a really good idea. But that's mostly for, um, like, yeah. Yeah, he's a super great guy. He's a really good artist. Um, some of the coloring things that I learned actually from him, especially with the shading on Nanami here. It was something completely new that I tried that he suggested. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that, Jake. He's just a very busy people like we are. Um, but yeah, definitely go check out Bass. I'm sure he'd be better off answering questions than I am. Um, obviously, Diet Jake, I'm on Discord, so if you want to, like, but you'll be here Friday, so I can get you I can show you those books when you get here. Um, any other questions, comments, concerns, stream interruptions? Yes. He's a very good person. He is good people. I have the really big one that goes through a little bit of aging with characters. I'm pretty sure that's up in my art chest, but it's like a huge book that I picked up. And I have quite a few of them, but some of them I don't really like. I don't know if it's like the art style that they chose in the books or something, but it almost looks, I don't know, something about it I don't like. It wigs me out. Um, any other questions? I should probably find that one, yes, in all honesty. I'm gonna start saving this dog. Yes, I've heard Steins Gate is very, very good. I just haven't gotten a chance to really look at it yet. Close some of these things out because I've got way too many things open. I'm saving this. This is cute. I'm not gonna save everything that I use for explanation. Use for explanation today. Um. Oh well, yeah, of course. All right, guys. So, due to the nature of this learning stream, I am gonna cut this a little shorter than normal. Thank you everybody for stopping by for Erica's Art Corner. We'll be resuming next week. I might be doing more tutorial things. I might actually sketch something. It really just depends. I'm gonna see if I can't try and get this pen tablet to work. Maybe, I don't know, I'll make oodles of money this weekend and I could get myself a new one. I don't know. So, thank you everybody for stopping by. I'll be floating around Discord if anybody has any questions. Diet Jake, I will see you on Friday. Just remember to remember fixing up the overlay for you. I'm really curious as to what you are going to do with the overlay now, Jake. Um, so yeah, I will see you guys all later the next time of Erica's Art Corner. Have a good night.